this morning, well, I guess it may not be morning where you're watching. Today, I'm going to make a po' boy sandwich. I was raised in Louisiana, and my very favorite food from down there is actually the classic roast beef po' boy. A lot of people, unless you're from Louisiana, I guess, don't realize that the original po' boy was roast beef. And it's my favorite. However, I can't figure out how to make roast beef plant-based, whole food, oil-free, vegan, so I'm going to make a different version of a po' boy sandwich. And so to start with, we're going to make a remoulade. Just a second, I need a spoon. Okay, get a spoon. So a remoulade, it's kind of like a really fancy mayonnaise, sort of. It's like a sauce, okay? And the reason why we're making this first is because it does have to chill out in your fridge for about 4 hours to let all those seasonings get happy. Super easy. You're going to be astonished when you see how easy this is and how tasty it is. So you're just going to start with your blender. That's it. And we have here a cup of mayonnaise, vegan mayonnaise. We make our own, which I guess I should make a video of for y'all, because most vegan mayonnaises do have oils in them, and we don't eat any oils because nothing bad added and nothing good removed, and oils have everything good removed. So a cup of vegan mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley, 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. We make our own barbecue sauce. This is not a plant-based whole food thing, something we've always done. Steven has always made our barbecue sauce. I don't think I've ever bought barbecue sauce since we've been married. A garlic clove. My cloves are kind of small, so I'm actually going to put 2 in, but really it's 1, but if yours are kind of small, don't feel bad about adding to it, okay? What is this? Horseradish. A teaspoon of horseradish, prepared horseradish. The recipe actually calls for extra spicy. If you are not a spicy lover, which why would you be making a Louisiana dish if you're not one? But anyways, you can just get regular horseradish. This is 2 tablespoons of Creole mustard, or just like a good whole grain mustard. If you can't find Creole, I use a spicy mustard because sometimes we can find it here. A Creole mustard, sometimes we can't. So spicy will work. 2 tablespoons of just lemon juice. The citrus awakens things. This is a teaspoon and a half of Worcestershire sauce, whatever. You can add more or less of that if you're trying to watch your salt. Make sure it's the vegan kind. Remember, the Kroger brand does not have shellfish in it. So this is all of our seasonings. Don't freak out, okay? It is a half a teaspoon of white pepper, 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, a half a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning that kind of gives us our fishy kind of flavor, and then 1 teaspoon of like a Cajun seasoning salt, like a Tony's or a Slap Your Mama Good or Moe's Magic Dust, whatever you have. We use Tony's. So you're just going to put all of that in your NutriBullet. And then you're just going to blend this puppy up until it gets really smooth and happy. And there you have it. Your Cajun Remoulade Sauce. As you can see, it's kind of brownish. And it smells delicious. Here's where you would taste it, adjust any seasonings, some more salt. Now you want it a little spicier. If it feels like it's missing something, my always go-to is add some citrus. So add a little bit more lemon or something to kind of waken it up a little bit. We're going to chill this for 4 hours and then see y'all in a little bit, and we'll make the po' boys. Hey y'all, now we're going to get started on the filling for our po' boys. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 flax eggs. A flax egg is 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds, flax meal, and Lord have mercy, 3 tablespoons of water. My brain, as my daughter says, I had a brain drain. So I have this going right here because you want to let it sit for, 5 to 10 minutes to get all congealy. So preheat your oven to 425 because we're going to bake these things. Ugh. Y'all can smell what I'm smelling. Steve makes fun of me because he says no cooking show talks about how bad things smell, but I'm just being real. So you don't think that you're doing something wrong. We are going to use oyster mushrooms. An oyster mushroom is a funny mushroom. It kind of looks like this. Get them at Walmart, and here's like a smaller one. Oops. They're just like little clusters of mushrooms, and they feel squishy, and they smell fishy. Like my kitchen smells like fish. So you're going to wash them really good, and they feel really spongy. I don't really know much about them. Maybe they grow in the water. That's why they're oyster mushrooms. I don't know. So while that's sitting there, we are going to cut off the stems. I already have some done. And now you're going to take a cup of cornmeal, just good old cornmeal. This is 2 tablespoons of chili powder, and this is a half a teaspoon of some more Cajun seasoning. And you're just gonna mix that up. This is gonna be your breading, your crust on your deep fried fish, oyster mushrooms. You're going to take a half a cup of soy milk, plant milk, unflavored, unsweetened, of course. You don't want sweet fish, that's kind of gross. So we're gonna let this sit a few more minutes, and then we'll be back. Hey y'all, okay, we're back. This has got all nice and congealed. We're just gonna add it to our milk. If you have ever breaded and fried anything, as Southern women tend to do, you know exactly where I'm going with this. Egg and milk and your flour cornmeal mix. So, I'm gonna give this a quick little stir. Now you know we have a dry hand and a wet hand, right? Just makes things easier. So you're gonna have your cookie sheet with a silicone liner. This is my linen liner that I have, just whatever, so you don't have to use the oils. So you're just gonna take your mushrooms and you're going to dip it in your egg and milk mixture. And then you're going to dip it in your cornmeal mixture, and you're going to have to kind of like press it onto it. But you end up with like almost like a little baby looking piece of fried catfish. So I'm going to get this done and see y'all in a few minutes. Okay, y'all, so we have coated all of our oyster mushrooms, and as you can tell, they look just like breaded catfish or even breaded oysters. So your oven's on 425. We're going to pop these in the oven for about 20 minutes. The last few minutes of baking, you want to move these to the bottom shelf and put your crusty French bread on the top shelf and put it on broil so that gets toasted. And then this will get really crusty because the broil will be on. Okay, y'all, we're back. Let me get a towel to show you this. They're kind of crusty and fried looking and absolutely delish. And so the last couple of minutes, we turned our broiler on, so our bread got nice and crusty and delicious. And so all we're going to do is take some of our remoulade, as much or as little as you want. This will be Steve, so we're going to really slop it on there. And then to that, we're going to add some of our meaty, fishy pieces. Really good. Just pile it on there. When you go to Louisiana and you get a poor boy, they're not afraid to add some toppings and stuff. They're thick. And then, of course, some good old iceberg lettuce. Steve normally doesn't like iceberg lettuce, but I do. And it's kind of tradition, authentic. Apparently Bugs does too, because I dropped some on the floor and he's eating it. Okay, and then some tomatoes. These beautiful tomatoes, y'all. And that's where I would stop with mine. Steve likes jalapenos, so he put some jalapenos out for himself. The fun part, making it into a sandwich. So, just gonna flip that, and now we're going to cut it in half. Fun fact, our 2-year-old granddaughter loves jalapenos. Eats them whole. Is that from her people? So there you go. A delicious New Orleans style po' boy. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, make the food, y'all, and ring our bell. Thank y'all and God bless.